All right, welcome into the high noon edition of Pugs and Company, heard every Monday through Friday, noon till, about 2 o'clock. I say about 2 o'clock because, let's bring in E. Why not? Let's get it all started here. Welcome into the house. It's E. Hi, E. How are you?
I'm good.
Here, let me show you something. We'll just get off I was going to do the whole, setup thing, but I got time for that.
Nobody got time for that.
I got time for it. Here we go. Look what I just saw. I love this. I just love looking down there and seeing this stuff. Look at that guy. Look at her. You see her?
Yeah.
I love that. That's
she likes sunning herself right by her tree.
Don't think that's all she's doing. She's by that tree for a reason. She is waiting. She is waiting out them squirrels. She is just going to lay in the sun and she is going to get herself a squirrel. Yeah, what's it? What is it? Is there another one? Yeah. I like this one because I knocked on the wall. I went on the wall and I got this one.
Oh, yeah.
She was laying in the sun and then I'm up here looking down from the guest house and I went, and she immediately turned and looked up. She's a good girl. All right. Welcome into the show, folks. As I said, we do the show each and every day, Monday through Friday, noon till, whatever. And I say whatever because I might try and end a little bit early today because I got to pick my kid up early from school and I got a couple of things that I got to do. Not like an hour early or anything like that. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. We'll see what it is. I'm kind of pressed for time because picking the kid up, it's the first time I've had to actually pick the kid up from school. I don't want to blow that. I want to be there. I want to be there when he comes out. I don't want him waiting. I have a great relationship with mom, but I don't need it.
Are you getting in the carpool line?
I think I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
They got a number?
Oh.
You don't know.
I don't know. I'm just gonna. The last time I picked my kid up from school, it wasn't directly after school, so there was no carpool line involved. It was after football practice, and I pulled into a school. This kids. Sometimes they're just morons, right? Sometimes they're just okay. So he knows it's the first time I'm picking him up after football practice. And so I pull into the parking lot. It's like 5 o'clock, the parking lot's pretty empty. There's a couple things going on, but mostly it's, buses are gone and there's no teachers in the party. It's pretty much done. So I'm driving around the parking lot and I'm like, I couldn't find him. So I have to call mom and I'm like, I can't find him. I don't know where he is. His phone is going straight to voicemail. He's not even answering his phone. Where the hell is he? And she's like, well, maybe get out of your car and walk around. So I get out of my car, I park, I start walking around. Like, I think maybe, you got a girlfriend. Maybe he's hanging out with the girlfriend behind the school building or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell is he getting into? No. You know what he did? You know what he was doing? After football practice, he walked out into the parking lot, found a couple of bushes, and laid down on his backpack behind the bushes and fell asleep.
Ay.
I'm like, dude, you knew that I was coming to pick you up. What were you thinking? He's like, well, I wanted to lay down and I didn't want people seeing me lay down. I go, but I didn't see you lay down. I was coming to look for you. This is my first time.
This is why you have a cell phone. Call me. Let me know what's up.
That was question 2. Well, what's up with your cell phone? Oh, it died. It died. Why aren't you charging your cell phone?
Well, I would check with Jess to see if she has a number for carpool. Because normally how carpool operates, obviously there's lots of people coming. Mm-hmm. And so they call out the number in the line over the PA system inside the school. And that way the kids know that are next in the carpool queue.
It sounds like your situation is far more advanced than this one.
It may be, but it's a big school, dude. Just imagine.
I'll reach out. But mom and stepdad, they went for a nice weekend. They're going up to a casino in Oklahoma or something. I think something like that. I don't want to bother him. I made all the arrangements were made last night. His phone is fully charged. He knows to have his phone ready. I'm going to call him when I'm like 5 minutes out, and then, he'll tell me if I need a number or something.
All right. Well, it's not like you need a number.
She didn't tell me anything. We went through a whole list of things. She didn't say anything
But
about that.
we've got a tag, and on our tag is the number. So you hang the tag in that shows that you're going into the carpool line, and then the people can see your number, and then they call that number out, and that's how the kids get dismissed.
All right.
But I don't know.
I'll send her a text. I'll send her a text after the show. As soon as I get ready. All right. So let's see here. Today is November the 5th, the 5th day of November in the year of our Lord 2021. It's 309 days into the year. 309. Let's see. What do we got? We got 56 days remaining in the year. And that means we've got about 50 or 49 days and whatever. I'm not sure. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. 50 or 49 days until Christmas. Oh boy, those Christmas days, they are catching up on us. It's gonna be a good Christmas. Hey, look at this surprise! Oh, look at this joining us here. We got James Parker joining us.
He woke up from the deep sleep after the concert hangover.
Yeah, thanks for participating last night. It's not like we just spent time doing nothing, waiting for you to call in.
I couldn't hear anything in Tipitina's. It was.
Yeah, no, we
didn't stop. That's a valid excuse, and I really wasn't in the best mental shape to carry on in conversations. I was much like E at the Rolling Stones concert.
Didn't stop E. He's a gamer. He contributes no matter what.
So how was the show?
Yeah, how was it?
It was fantastic. We're getting old, y'all. We're all just getting old. I was thinking about it. I've known these guys for like 20
plus
5 years now.
Yeah, been a fan for 30.
Exactly. And I don't know. It's kind of like when you see these people like once every 2 years is about how often I see the Toadies, in person or whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm sometimes concerned with like, I wonder if they see me and they're like, Jesus Christ, Parker's getting old, because they see me and all of a sudden I show up and I have gray in my beard and I have gray on the side of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Got some lines going on up here, a little bit of crow's feet. But even if they are, it's okay. I've known them for 25 years. Of course we look older. It's been a quarter of a century.
E and I are just like staying quiet because James is a good 10 and 15 years younger than us. It's like, dude, it's like you don't realize you're just really raping us here. But go ahead. Please do continue.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm actually getting better with getting old. I'm like more okay with getting old. I mean, I have plenty of time to get used to it. But it is kind of the effect of, well, of course we look older. Damn it. I'm 44 now. Of course I don't look the same as when I met him when I was 23 or whatever it was.
Age ain't nothing but a number, man. I think R. Kelly said it best.
I remember when I was like 18, 19, somebody said they were 30. I was like, man, that dude is old.
I know, right?
Now, like, I'm thinking 30 and they're going, this dude's 58. Like, that dude is old. And like, I'm 58 and I'm like, there is nobody old.
50's the new 30. 70's the new 50.
That's not what 30-year-olds are saying.
No, it's not. But screw them. They don't know. Man, 30-year-olds don't know. 30. You know what 30 is? 30's the new 15. So shut up, you stupid kid. You don't know nothing at 15. How was the band? How was the crowd? Tell me about how the Toadies show in New Orleans was last night. Well, no, how are they drawn in New Orleans?
I have seen the Toadies probably 10 times in New Orleans by now.
Yeah.
And they've played Tipitina's most of those times.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the most packed I think they've ever had Tipitina's.
That is fantastic. I love to hear that because, when I first moved to Dallas in 2001, everybody on my show, all the kids were Toady freaks. And they were talking about, the Toadies, they're going to play here. We got to go see Pugs. Pugs, you got to come see the Toadies. They're so great. They're so great. And me, I mean, I had worked in alternative rock radio in the 90s when the Toadies had hits, right? Like when Possum Kingdom was like a regular on our station. So in Chicago, I knew of the Toadies, but to me, they were a band from 10 years ago who hadn't done anything. And then I come to Texas and I realize, holy shit, they are the Crown Prince rock band of Texas. They are still packing. Like I said, they do that. They used to do the annual Greenville St. Patrick's Day parade. Well, they play to 100,000 people. It's just a crazy mass of humanity. And it was the Toadies headlining. And then there would be like bands with actual songs on the charts at the times opening for the Toadies. And I'm like, really?
So that you have just described what Cowboy Mouth is in New Orleans. They're a band that in the mid-90s, they had one hit that the rest of the world would know about, but they are unusually beloved around here, and it's a very regional thing. You go about 2 hours in any direction, and the Cowboy Mouth fandom falls apart.
Right.
But you show up, and they show up wherever. You don't even go see Cowboy Mouth half the time. It was like, well, I'm going to this fundraiser for the Bridge House, this convalescent home or whatever, and Cowboy Mouth is on stage. You go to the Endymion Extravaganza Ball, like one of the big crews that runs parades, and oh look, Cowboy Mouth is playing. They're at the Superdome. So you show up a little early at the Saints game, and they're over in that side stage called Champion Square playing. So it's funny. I bet you every region has their own Toadies or Cowboy Mouth.
They do. And I was going to say, when I came here to Dallas, Kelly and I looked at each other and we went, oh my God, the Toadies are the Bodines. That's what the
Bodines. Is that what it is in Chicago?
Are in Chicago. The Bodines are a band that had one or two national hits back in the late 80s, early 90s. And
what's the one I would know? Because I know that name.
Everybody wants to love. Like I want to love. The Party of Five theme.
That's right.
But
closer to free, right?
But yeah. But they had like a number of other hits on the alt charts in the early days. But then they had no more hits past like 1995.
But still huge in Chicago?
Yet they play like 4 concerts a year in Chicago. And they're always these big hipster events where it's like everybody packs. Let's go see. Like if we had, we do have a version of the St. Patrick's Day Greenville Parade. It's much larger. It's the South Side Parade, but hey, whatever. But if there were bands that played at those things, it would be like the Bodines would play it to 100,000 people. And then I started going regularly to the Toadies concerts, and I became familiar with their catalog of music, and I immediately became a huge fan. I'm like, I was an assistant music director at an alt rock station. Why weren't we playing Tyler? Why weren't we playing? You know what I mean? There were like so many great songs that they have, and they're just so beloved here in Texas. I was wondering now, here we are. What are they? 30 years into their career as a band? So it's good to know that they're still regionally packing them in New Orleans. They played Chicago, the House of Blues, a couple of years ago, and I was gonna go, but I didn't go. And I had a friend who actually went because he worked at the House of Blues, and I asked him, I said, how was the crowd? He said, no, it was a good crowd. It was a good crowd for him. But if it was a great crowd, he'd have been like, oh man, it was, you know what I mean? But it was, I guess they still do marginally well on tour outside of their epicenter, which would be Texas, New Orleans, Louisiana, Oklahoma. But holy shit, do they pack them in. Here. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Rev Horton Heat was one of the openers.
No, really? So was Jim and Taz, was it the real Horton Heat, or was it like a mishmash?
Jimbo was on bass.
Okay.
Taz was not on drums. If that's what you're asking. What, Taz is he their normal drummer?
Yeah. He was the drummer for Horton Heat. That was the Burden Brothers were a mishmash of Toadies and Horton Heat. Yeah,
but wasn't Taz from like Doosu or some other band?
Well, Taz played in a lot of bands, but he was most notable as the drummer for Horton Heat. Maybe not the original drummer, because I think the original drummer didn't the original drummer have the like old 1950s style drum where it was like the stand up with the snare and the cymbal or something? I don't know. I seem to remember that in the early days. But then Taz is more of a rock drummer. Like Taz is a banger. Well, I mean, look at him.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
He's 6'5", 300. He's a massive.
Right. I don't think Bigfoot exists, but Taz is pretty close.
Yeah. Taz. Yeah, that's true. The Sasquatch drummer. I love Taz. He is one of the sweetest human beings. Just a funny, nice guy.
I remember he had a daughter that used to come to all the shows that she could come to.
Yeah.
And going on the nostalgia route. I bet you she's like 35 now.
Probably.
Because we're all so old, we're all 100 years old.
Well, the princess Toady, Vaden's daughter, she's probably in high school or older.
No, she's in college.
She's in college.
In New York, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, man. I remember her when she was a little girl.
I haven't seen her since she was in diapers, but
yeah, that's what I mean. I remember when she was a toddler.
I'm still friends with the ex online. Remember Beth?
Yeah, Beth was a regular on the show. She used to do advice. She was a counselor. She used to do advice. She was a counselor at a local therapy thing here in Dallas. So we used to have Beth come in and help us.
How did I miss that? That must have been after
you were
me.
gone. Yeah.
Okay.
Beth is cool. Beth is Beth was the first girl that had a full sleeve tattoo on her arm that I went, that's hot. Like, I didn't used to think that was hot, but somehow she could pull that off. You know, this tall, pretty blonde with a full sleeve tattoo. Like, she would look equally as gorgeous in like a cocktail dress at some high society thing, but then you see the full rock and roll sleeve tattoo.
Well, she has range. She has this kind of thing that my wife has going on where you could feel comfortable taking her to like the formal ball in like a Cinderella ball gown, or if you were in a Viking raiding party storming the beaches and, you know,
Viking
the
is very
Flemings
good.
or whatever.
She's a shield maiden. Yeah, she looks like a shield maiden and a debutante. She's like got that.
She could do both. She could do both. Sleeve tattoos. I got it all.
She's what Sinatra would call a real dame.
Yeah.
She can pull it off.
I say that about my wife. It's like,
all right, let's see here.
Princess.
So what is November 5th? We like to talk about what it is. I told James, I know you don't want to hear this. It's 50 days till Christmas. You hate when I do this stuff. Today, James, in honor of your wife, you know what today is?
National Redhead Day?
It is National Redhead.
Hey!
How did you know that?
This is basically my Christmas then.
Yeah, it's National Redhead. It's National Love Your Red Hair Day. So not necessarily National Redhead Day.
Oh, look, and the Redhead's calling. Hang on.
Oh, put her on. Tell her happy. Well, I guess I don't know if you can put her on. Yeah, that won't work. Redheads. My mom is a redhead. So happy Love Your Red Hair Day, Mom. One of my best friends, Tom Beller, is a redhead. His sister Christy's a redhead. His mom's a redhead. Remember his mom? We talked about her, the cool mom. She's a cool mom. Sally. You know, you did cool mom when you don't call her Mrs. Bell, you call her Sally. You know, she was cool. So it's her day as well. It's the lovely Monique's day. You know, redheads get a lot of. Do you know the origins of the redheads? Do you know where red hair comes from?
Ireland?
No. Well, hundreds of years later, but the red hair actually began in the Middle East. It was the north. It was a mutation that occurred in hair among sheep herders who began in the Middle East and began to make their way north. And somehow, over the generations of them making their way out of the Middle East, the hair became redder instead of just lighter, because, you know, as you move away from the sun, you tend. So it's why the people way up north are blonde. You know, it's why like the Swedes are all blonde. But the red hair was a mutation. And because of this mutation, it was rare in the first couple of 100 years of redheads, and they were considered demons. People with red hair were not loved. As a matter of fact, they were burned as witches. They were treated as demons. Yeah. So there you go. Hey, wait a second. Hold on. I have this. The unexpectedly violent and bizarre history of red hair. The origins of red hair have been traced back to the Stipe Mountains in Middle East or Central Asia as much as 100,000 years ago. The haplogroup of modern redheads indicates that the earliest ancestors migrated from the Middle East because of the rise of herding during the Neolithic Revolution. Let's see here. To survive their environment, people living in the northern regions in general had begun to evolve to suit their environment and to allow their bodies more access to limited light. As a consequence, their skin and hair started to become much lighter. However, things occurred slightly differently. A mutation occurred in a gene known as the M1CR, which caused hair color not merely to lighten, but to change entirely to red. The skin of these new red-headed people was well adapted to absorbing the much-needed UV light. It was, however, a little too sensitive to the sun, which is why redheads often sunburn. And then they were killed and stuff because they were different. Because that's what humanity is. When something is different, you have to pay the price, and you must die if you're different. So, yeah, that's the unexpectedly bizarre and brutal history of the redhead. Okay, let's see. What else? Today is another day. I can't believe you guys haven't pointed out What am I wearing today?
Wearing a Notre Dame jersey.
Doesn't this violate all of my rules about wearing jerseys? Like, I have jerseys, I present jerseys, and I might wear them around the house, but I don't typically wear them, out. I will be wearing this jersey out today because today is National Jersey Friday.
Had no idea.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You're supposed to wear your jersey. You're supposed to, if you have a team jersey, if you support a team, be it soccer, baseball, football, whatever it is, today is National Jersey Friday. So you're supposed to just wear a jersey today.
So is that Jalen Smith's old jersey?
This was Jalen Smith number 9?
I don't know. I don't remember.
No, this is actually
Brady Quinn, huh?
I bought the good thing about Notre Dame jerseys is that they don't have names on the back and the numbers,
So that could be Brady Quinn.
Could be. Yeah. Well, it was Dalen Hayes for a while. But I purchased this specifically the number 9 for an old safety from Notre Dame back about 20 years ago named Tom Zibikowski. He was
Rudy.
He was crazy. No, Zib was crazy, man. He was a big hitter. He was a crazy hardcore free safety who just banged people, much beloved in Notre Dame circles. Now a professional boxer. He didn't. He was in the NFL draft, but he decided not to sign with an NFL team, instead pursuing a career as a professional boxer. And now he's like a welterweight somewhere. I checked his record recently. He's doing okay, but I think he's retired now, actually.
All right, so right now that number belongs to Justin Ademalola. And his brother is also on the team. They're both from Jackson, New Jersey. But
number
Jason
9?
Ademalola is number 57. Number 9 is Justin Ademalola.
All right. Well, as of a couple of years ago, it was Dalen Hayes, and he was really good. He was a defensive tackle. So
That's weird. A single number on a defensive lineman just always looks weird.
Well, yeah, that's something that they've allowed in college for quite some time. But now, in the NFL, you can have a defensive tackle wearing number 1 if they want. Apparently, you can wear any number you want now in the NFL, which is why a whole bunch of players change their numbers.
I think it really only matters for eligible receivers, doesn't it?
I don't know. I thought it was a nice cheat sheet to know when there was a play going on. You could look at the numbers and know who was involved. Okay, that was a lineman. That was a backer.
Mm-hmm.
You were about to say?
Well, I was going to say Jalen Smith did wear number 9.
I thought that might be true. Yeah, good catch. Good catch there. Okay, it is also National Donut Day. Who doesn't love a good donut?
No, see, this is trash. How can you have a day dedicated to more than one thing?
Well, because they're totally different. They're different genres. They're different.
Well, are we celebrating redheads and jerseys eating donuts? Or are we celebrating 3 separate things? And
look, dude, if you really wanted to go for it, yeah, that's what you would do. You'd be a redhead in a jersey eating a donut. That's how you would really lean into this day, November the 5th. What do you want from me, man? I'm just bringing people up to speed.
Pick something to honor and stick with it. And I know you didn't make these rules, so I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying the whole idea that you can have a day that's dedicated to several things defies what having a day dedicated to that thing means. It's like,
I don't know, man.
It's like I got 1 French fry and I'm going to give the same French fry to 3 people. You can't do that.
Look, for the sake of conversation and for chewing up time, I'm glad there's more than one day because we can talk about a whole bunch of different aspects of the day. What are you trying to do here?
I could have given you a whole hour on redheads.
Well, using your theory, James, there would only be 365 opportunities for things to have a day.
Fine. It's called prioritize.
See?
Jesus gets 2 of them. He gets Christmas and Easter. We've got, 4th of July. We have a couple other historical things. And then after that, we'll probably have about 300 days left over. And you know what? Not everything's going to get honored. Maybe we don't have a day for jerseys, and I'll be okay with that, rather than split my attention 4 different ways every day and act like we're honoring something.
Well, what about categories though? Like maybe like category of food, category of like a person.
That might be a good compromise when we're going through the priority list. Yeah.
Leslie says the Toadies are going to be in town on Sunday. Where are they playing on Sunday? Leslie, I suppose that's what Google's for.
Yeah, and I think they're doing Houston tomorrow. So they're doing like this little teeny tiny tour where they're doing like 4 dates or something like that.
That's the life, man. That's like Texas is its own music country. You know what I mean? I mean, if you have a hit in Texas, you can just tour only Texas. I mean, that's what Tejano was. Remember when Selena got killed and nobody outside of Texas had ever heard of her or heard of Tejano? And Tejano, Texas has its own music charts, the Texas charts, simply because it's so big that you can sell 1 million records without going anywhere outside of, Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, you could El Paso. I mean, you can sell 1 million records and become a wealthy musician being only known in Texas, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's another regional thing, kind of like the Bodines have going on, to where you can make a living by doing the live events. You're not going to make a living having your videos on MTV. You're not going to make a video selling CDs these days. But even back in the day, that's not where you really made your money. You made your money off the merch booth and getting a piece of the door.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're in a big enough draw, they'll pay you a huge walk-in fee. I mean, just to take the stage, they'll give you like 30 grand because they know what they're going to make on beer and they know what they're going to make on, ticket sales. So,
and if you're a medium draw, you can make better money than I'm making right now doing that.
You just get a bus and you tour. You're in a band. Let's say you're the Toadies, and God love, I'm sure they'd love to be making U2 money. But if you're like a band in the Toadies, you can live a really nice life doing exactly what they're doing, which is make an album every couple of years. But even if you don't have an album, tour on the hits, a couple of months out of the year, rest of the year is your time to yourself.
It's funny you take that angle, because I remember back in the day, 25 years ago, going to a Toady show. When you go to the merch booth, you're like, all right, I've got X amount of dollars to spend. What can I get out of here? Because I'm getting something, at least a t-shirt. Nowadays, I go up there and it's sort of reverse. It's like, I'm going to get everyththing I want.
Because you're older.
I'm 44 and I could buy this whole goddamn table if I wanted to. I could buy the table under it.
That is
everything on. So then I just start prioritizing. And now I've been to so many shows, I don't really have to go to the merch booth.
But that is the benefit of being a rock star with 30 years of history. Your audience also has 30 years and expendable income because they make money now.
Yeah. So there was a line. There was a line after the show at the merch booth. And it was people that were about my age, plus or minus 10 years. And everybody was just buying piles of stuff. Piles. So their audience these days has far more. I bet you they're making more money now.
Yeah.
Than except for that 1 year or 2 years where they were in heavy rotation and they were getting royalties from like MTV and Airplay. I bet you this is the most amount of money they've made, except for that little 2-year window.
Do they still do their big summer weekend festival?
Dia de los Toadies? Yeah.
Yeah. They still do that out there in Fort Worth?
I think it got canceled in 2020, but it came back this year. I think they already did it this year.
Okay. I mean, that's a huge event. That's like people plan for that all year.
Well, the Toadies have been real smart about leaning into their merch too. So every album that comes out, you can go download it, you can go buy it, you can stream it, but you can also get like a vinyl record of it. And I've got a few of those. And
I don't know the other guys in the band very well, but I know Vaden. I've had long conversations with him. He's a smart dude. He is not like some dopey rock star guy. So I imagine, he's figured out a way to, spend the rest of his life comfortable.
I know, because him and Mark.
Does he still look really cool, or does he look more like professorial now? Like, because he's got the grayish hair, and I've seen him in glasses now, and I mean, he used to have this really cool, dark, moody rock star lead singer vibe, right? But then he sort of lightened up a little bit. As he got older and had a kid, he sort of became more personable and more friendly. And
he is gotten nicer throughout the years, but I can't comment on it too strongly because I see him once every 2 years. I don't hang out with him like I did in 2000, 2002, somewhere around there.
None of us do.
So I don't really know. So I see him in short clips every 2 years, and I didn't even talk to him last night, so I don't know.
I still believe that first Burden Brothers album is an absolute banger. That album is, I still listen to that. That's on my Spotify list. That's on my jet ski list. A couple of Burden Brothers songs.
You have a jet ski list?
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Very cool.
You gotta have a jet ski list. Although he's always listening to classic rock. I've noticed that like E's music is cranking a radio station, whereas mine is a specifically curated jet ski list. A lot of Rainbow, a lot of Motley Crue.
Rainbow?
Yeah.
The wife's in the chat room. She wants to know if you got her a new shirt.
Nope, I didn't.
No, you
Oh boy.
Because I got her like 4 Toady shirts and she wears it like once a year.
All right, let's get into what's trending today because that's what we do here.
Before the trending, we got a monologue.
Oh, I'm not prepared. Do I have a list?
I sent it to you, yeah.
Oh, for crying out loud.
What'd you do about the button bar situation?
Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Would you get off the button bar situation?
I'll pay for the software key. It's only $90 or whatever.
I gotta get with that on that. Okay, where are we? The more stuff you send, the further down the sound effects go. Okay, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the... I don't like doing this during the day. There are nightclubs during the day. All right. Here's James Wonderbread Parker.
That was an underwhelming introduction.
Well, it's not nighttime.
Well, I didn't get to do it last night because I was goofing off, and then there's not a show tonight, and you say that sometimes you want the day people to see a monologue.
James.
Doesn't it feel a little bit weird during the day?
Well, I mean, it does not feel like the Tonight Show. Yeah. It feels like the Today Show.
This is like the failed David Letterman daytime
but
show.
I do like his bit, so, you know.
All right, James, let's go. Come on.
All right. Hey, daylight savings time it ends this weekend. And these days we turn our clocks back on Sunday at 2 a.m. It used to be until recently it was Sunday at 7 p.m., but they had to change that because 60 Minutes was coming on at the same time it ended. So it's kind of awkward.
It is Sunday? It's not Saturday?
Well, Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Sunday is Saturday. Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. You know what's beautiful about daylight savings time in the year 2021?
Everyone thinks it should end and it still exists.
I don't care. I don't really care about that. It's just a thing we deal with. I've been dealing with my whole life. I don't care. I'm Midwestern. I hear a lot of farmers, side of this argument. So I don't care. No, it's that we no longer have to turn the only thing I got to turn back is my microwave. Everything else automatically does it. Like
your phone and your car.
Yeah. Everything else is like hooked up.
Does the car do it?
Yeah, my car does.
Really?
Yeah. Your car probably does. He's driving around in a space shuttle. Your car probably has everything.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know the work truck doesn't. I know I got to change that.
Except the ability to start on command, right? Did you recently have a problem with that beautiful truck of yours?
Now it's fixed. I believe it or not, the battery went dead, and it's only like 9 months old.
All right, is this y'all's monologue or mine?
That's yours. Go ahead.
Okay. Actress Bridget Bardot was fined $23,000. That's for a speech violation. She called the inhabitants of an Indian Ocean island savages. Can you believe that? Bridget Bardot's still alive.
Come on now.
It's not my strongest joke. That's okay. According to Fox News, President Biden showing signs of cognitive decline. Sadly, I also saw a report yesterday that said Biden showing signs of cognitive decline. And then, not to mention, there was another report that he was showing signs of cognitive decline. Oh,
I see what you did there.
Making fun of me. You thought I was going to make fun of Biden, then I made fun of me. So it's okay.
They had to think about it.
I said Fox News, and your little antenna went up.
No, it didn't. I don't care.
According to the Globe magazine, Bill Clinton has just 6 months to live. And the former president's quoted as saying, "So many women, so little time."
Oh, man. Joke straight out of 1994. Okay.
Hey, that guy is going to be smashing until he dies. Remember on The Color Purple when Oprah Winfrey's like, "How'd he die?" And she goes, "On top of me."
I never saw The Color Purple.
It's better than I expected, but I had the bar set pretty low.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
All right, hey, there was a woman that was walking on a beach in Alaska. She found a message in a bottle that was launched back in 1987. So yeah, people are still sending messages in a bottle, but sometimes it takes longer than the post office. So you.
Ooh, post office burn.
Take that, Mom. My mom works at the post office.
I like a post office burn.
Hey, we were doing like what the special days are. Tomorrow's a special day. It's National Bison Day. The purpose of National Bison Day is to raise awareness of Pug's mom.
Whoa.
Oh.
So,
that's
talked to my mom yesterday, and She told you to stop it.
She likes the monologue? Is that what she said? She loves the monologue?
My mom is not a heavy woman, and she is very upset at the picture that you are painting of her because she's got herself a man. She's engaged to be married.
Pugs, if your mom was fat, I wouldn't be able to make these jokes. Then I would be a bad person.
Move along, James. Well, that is true. You know what? That is true.
Right.
Okay.
God.
There you go, Mom. That's the best excuse. There you go. Well, okay. I won't touch I'm a bad person, but.
All right. And finally,
finally,
tomorrow, Lamar Odom's birthday. He turns 42 years old. Happy birthday, Lamar Odom. If you want to send him a gift, he likes crack. He can get him some crack. Love that stuff. Yeah. Finally. Odom likes crack.
There you go. It's James and his monologue. We appreciate it, even if it doesn't feel right here at 12:30. All right, how about your moment of joy? Let's do that. This is a fun one. We do each and every show. We start out with a little something to put you in a good mood, a little something to make you feel happy. This is a fun one. Okay, so look, here's what I love about there's plenty of things that I hate about social media, but one of the things that I love about social media is that it really shows that there's talent everywhere. I mean, you can be talented and funny, and you don't have to be on the Tonight Show stage to be someone. That person's fun. It really does expose that my long-held belief that the greatest opera singer in the world might be a plumber in Toledo, Ohio. You just never got the break, just never pursued it. But you might walk in and he's like, while he's cleaning your pipes, and you're like, holy cow, that guy's good. Not as good as the real ones. No, probably better, because it's all about getting the breaks. So this is a girl on Twitter, college student. She's just really funny. This is just a really funny little TikTok that she made. Now I'll set it up for you. Apparently, her boyfriend cheated on her. and he sent her a bunch of texts explaining, how sorry he is and all that stuff. So she decided to do a little something fun with it. So here she is. This is a girl who is, she's adding sad violins to her ex-boyfriend's BS apology. Okay. Are you ready? Can you see her?
Ken.
Okay, here we go. Here's today's moment of joy.
Adding sad violins to my ex's bullshit apology text. Hey. I know you're probably never going to forgive me for what happened, but I wanted a chance to explain. I know it wasn't right that I technically hooked up with your roommate, but I've been going through a lot, and that's not who I am. I've been failing most of my classes, and I just got fired. So I would really appreciate if you showed me some sort of sympathy and stopped making me feel like a villain. Plus, you've been really busy at work, and I've been feeling really alone. I was just really missing you, and it was a one-time mistake. I love you so much more than Emily. What am I supposed to tell my family? I'm sorry, okay? Also, did you change the Netflix password?
Oh,
come on, how great
punchline at the end, man. Great punch. Oh,
she's clever girl. All right.
Well, the real talent was the girl on the fiddle back there, but they're
no, I think there was some performance art being done by the person in the front. That was very good. Yeah. All right. And I've actually, since I heard that early this morning, I've been walking around humming, I love you so much more than Emily. What am I supposed to tell my family? That's a catchy hook. Got me. All right, Mr. Popular. Hold on, Mr. Popular. I have to check my text because it's.
I love the idea. What am I supposed to tell my family? Like I ever had to explain any of my breakups to my family. People are like, what happened to Nan? Oh, we broke up. Okay, that's it. There's no explanation needed.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I just got an important text.
Unless you went road tripping with her to Utah.
Came back in her van without her. Yeah, there might be a few more questions then.
All right. Hey, E, what do you got planned today? We got any big plans today?
What do I got planned today? We have a carnival at the school from 3 to 6. And Dominic has signed up to be in the dunk tank.
Hey, so cool. Hey, maybe can me and Mace come? Because I'm going to be getting him early. We might be back here.
You know, I don't know how that works. I'm not sure.
Well,
I'll
if you
ask.
find out, let us know, because I'm sure my son would love to take some shots of
Yeah.
Dom in the dunk
I
tank.
told him I was bringing bags of ice and I was going to put it in the dunk tank in the water.
Good
He
for him.
wasn't too happy about that. He asked me this morning, he goes, Dad, are you really doing that? And I said, oh, yeah. I said, the Dad's Club, that's what we do.
No.
We make sure that it's really, really cold.
Knowing and loving Dom the way that I do, I can see this going two ways. I can see him being up there and being incredibly confrontational to people, like screaming at him.
Oh, for
saying,
sure.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
Or I see him getting dunked and then flipping the fuck out.
No, I think he already knows he's going to get dunked, so he's going to give people hell on the way down.
Yeah, he's a funny kid. He's definitely going to get his pound of flesh one way or another. The reason I ask is because today trending, it's trending in two different categories. Today is Guy Fawkes Day. Guy Fawkes Day. James, you want to explain what Guy Fawkes is?
The gunpowder plot when
look at I wasn't sure that people actually knew what the gunpowder, but as a Catholic, I certainly know what the gunpowder
the old Protestants versus Catholics, and there was a group of dudes that were they seriously loaded like a ton of gunpowder under Parliament, and we're gonna blow up the House of Lords, I think it was, and this was in 16 something. But that's where we get the cool mask from on V for Vendetta, and the mask that, like, when Anonymous puts out a video, a lot of times they're wearing the Guy Fawkes mask. That's what the name of that mask is.
Yeah, but people, I was wondering if people, oh, wait, hold on. Here, we'll show you the mask.
And it gets you in trouble in radio because, Fox could sound like FOX or kind of like FUCKS.
The interesting thing, as you know, about the gunpowder plot, I don't know, this was like what, in the Middle Ages? I don't know. James the First.
It's around 1600, I think it was.
Yeah, I don't know when James the First was around. But it was an attempt by the Catholics in England to blow up not Parliament, I think just the House of Lords. And it failed miserably. And the reason they wanted to blow up the House of Lords was because they wanted to instill Elizabeth as queen, because she was Catholic. She was the daughter of James the First, who of course was Church of England, Anglican.
Hey, yeah, it was 1605.
Hey, look at
right there, dude.
Look at that. So it is a failed attempt to return the Catholic monarchy to England, and didn't go well. Who's the leader? Robert Catledge, I think, was like, it should be Robert Catledge.
That's a level of depth I do not know.
I don't know. Google that if you have a second, because I don't have a second. I think it was Robert Catledge. Anyway, he was the leader of the plot, and he was executed. Guy Fawkes was just the dude who was guarding the explosives. He was
Catesby, Robert Catesby.
Yeah, okay, that's
Catesby.
That. Yeah, what did I say? Catledge.
Right, and super close. Robert Catesby.
Yeah, I mean, especially since he's not the guy that's
Catesby.
You know what I mean? He's so here, everyone will know the legacy of Guy Fawkes. I'll show you this. This is the legacy of Guy Fawkes. This is
the mask, right?
Yeah, this is what we all know him as today. Anytime you see that mask anywhere, right? That mask is been used in movies. Maybe saw it on Halloween, but yeah, that is apparently Guy Fawkes had a interesting facial hair situation going on, and that's what's going on here. So it's Guy Fawkes Day. Now, how do you celebrate Guy Fawkes Day? Because this is something else that's trending #1 across all platforms. Bonfire Night. Did you know this? This is not really something that we celebrate here in America, but Catholics in England, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, Scotland, they build big bonfires tonight, and they gather around the bonfire and they talk about how the plot failed.
Really?
And they conspire. Yeah, well, I don't know. But the whole point is it's a big bonfire. So there are bonfires being set all over Catholic countries and all over England. Actually, this might actually be a Protestant thing. Maybe it's not a Catholic thing. I don't know. It might be the way to celebrate the failure of the plot to overthrow the King James, but I don't know. So
You see Jeff's over there having his own little monologue.
no, what's Jeff doing?
He put a few messages ago that he could do a better monologue than me, which probably wouldn't be too hard. But he's
Well,
thrown
but
out
you're not
about.
even writing your own stuff.
Yeah.
No, I'm not writing half of those.
No.
Yeah, but he's cranked out 5 jokes already. They're all right.
Let's
as my
see.
stuff.
You know, the one thing that I saw today that I was shocked by? Colin Powell is being buried today.
Yeah, didn't he die like a month ago?
Yeah, he died like October the 18th. Like, what's taking so long?
Apparently
Like,
we were
he did a tour like Ronald Reagan. It like took him like 3 weeks to bury him.
They buried pharaohs faster than that.
We were waiting for the toxicology. See what I did there?
Right.
I let you know it was a joke because the rim shot. Okay, a new segment here that I want, because there's a lot of politics.
Oh, one more thing on that. I do have one more thing. So Hillary was at the funeral. Bush and Obama and Biden and all the first ladies, but no Bill. Why? Is he in the hospital?
He was sick recently.
Yeah.
He was sick recently. I don't know if he's maybe up.
I don't know if you heard the monologue.
Yeah, well, you said 6 months, but I didn't know if that was like legit.
No, that was not legit, but he is sick.
Yeah. All right, new thing that I want to do here on Fridays, because it's exciting to me as we go into the weekend. I want to give you a list. Some of these are trending. Actually, 3 of them were trending. So I was like, why don't I just do this as a segment instead of doing it as individual? So every Thursday night, as we know, the new TV gets posted to the streaming services, and people are very excited about what there is to watch this weekend, the new shows. So I thought I'd give you one from each of the streaming services. The big one that is going around is Apple TV. If you have Apple TV, apparently there's a new series, the Tom Hanks series, Finch. Tom Hanks has a new thing on Apple TV. Finch, he plays. It looks to me like it's a post-apocalyptic. He's an. It almost looks like Castaway from what I've been looking. Like he's an astronaut. He's on a space. It's like Castaway meets The Martian. He's an astronaut. The world has ended. He's the last guy there, and he's got a robot friend.
Sounds kind of like Wall-E.
Looks terrible. It really does. It doesn't look like anything that I want to watch. So that's your Apple TV.
When's the last time Tom Hanks did something that sucks, though?
He doesn't. He typically, come
bankable.
on. Do you know the movie Bonfire the Vanities, which is considered to be his biggest flop of all time? Well, that and Joe versus the Volcano. Oh, actually, now that I think about it, I love Bonfire the Vanities.
I never saw it.
That movie.
I'm aware it exists. I've just never seen it.
I think that I watched it maybe a year or so ago, and I think that time has really done that movie.
What is it even about?
Well, it's from the Tom Wolfe book, Bonfire the Vanities. About just what is it about? Corruption. It's a dark comedy. It's money, and Google it. It's hard to explain because it's a very convoluted movie. But here we are 30 years later, where we've seen other types of this style of filmmaking, and I think it would be much better received had it been released now instead of back. Seems to have been a movie that was ahead of its time. And that people in 1993 or whenever it came out were like, we don't get this. This is stupid. This isn't Splash. Like, remember, he was being held accountable for the kinds of, this isn't Bachelor Party. But it's very good. The other one, Joe versus the Volcano, is the other one that's widely regarded as his
trash.
His trash film. I also enjoy that. That film gave me a line that I still use on people. All these many, one of my favorite words to flop out. Tom Hanks was having dinner with Meg Ryan, and Meg Ryan was playing this socialite, this stuck-up socialite girl. And at some point in the dinner, she looks at him and she says, "Well, aren't you quite the flibbity-gibbet?" And I just love that word, flibbity-gibbet, and I still use that word. I call my son a flibberty-gibbet. Not entirely sure what it means, but I do like to say it. Flibbity-gibbet. That's the word for the day. Okay, so Apple TV's got you Finch. That's a new Tom Hanks space thing going on.
Man, going through Tom Hanks's, I was trying to look for something to that sucks.
All right, here we go. Hold on. Let's do it. You got a computer in front of you? Why not? This is how we like to spend our... There's a bunch of politics in football trending today, okay? There's like a whole bunch of stuff I don't want to do. folks, let's do it, James. Before you get into it,
What?
Tom Hanks movie draft. Let's go. I'll give you the first pick in the first round. E, you can have the second pick in the first round, and I'll take the third pick. This is where we draft Tom Hanks movies. Why not, right? This could be fun since you're bringing it up. You got his filmography in front of you? Is that what you're doing?
I do.
Just go to Wikipedia, E. Just Tom Hanks on Wikipedia, and then go to
Yeah, I'm trying to get there.
Yeah.
I'm going on a different phone.
All right, 2000s. Oh man, you know what? His filmography is too big. It's
No,
like
it's not. That's what makes it so tough.
Hold on. Let me find his filmography. You know what? I bet you it's its own Wikipedia page. Let's do it this way. Sorry, I'm having troubles too. James is there. So go ahead, James. Take your first pick in the first round of the Tom Hanks draft.
Saving Private Ryan.
Tom Hanks filmography. Saving Private Ryan.
Yep.
Holy cow. That is a good one.
That's basically the best thing I see on this list, except for maybe Forrest Gump.
Let's see here.
I'm going with Bachelor Party.
Oh, that's a great one.
I was going to think Bachelor Party, you son of a bitch.
When the donkey ODs, and so they just leave it in the elevator.
All right.
Brilliant.
Hold on. I can't
That's
find
what I would do if I had a donkey OD in a hotel room. Just leave it in the elevator and hit the button, walk off.
I got to find this film. I can't find a good. Did you find film? Okay. Yeah. By the way, we're only doing film. All right. My first pick. So we've got what's off the board here. We got
Bachelor Party and Saving Private Ryan.
All right. There's an obvious one there, but I really think that I'm going to go with Apollo 13. Apollo 13.
Oh, you're too cool to take Forrest Gump because that's what you were thinking, right? That's
well, you can now have Saving Private Ryan and Forrest Gump. Look at you.
I'm taking it then, Forrest Gump.
All right, E, round 2. Who you got in your Tom Hanks draft, movie draft?
I'm gonna go with
Da
Vinci Code. Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code is a good one. There you go. So you've got Bachelor Party and Da Vinci Code. James has Saving Private Ryan and Forrest Gump. My first round pick was Apollo 13. I will take Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the one I'm taking. That's right. Good movie.
I never saw that. Was that really good? Because that looked, I don't know. It just seems like a downer. Like my real life's so much of a downer. I don't like to go see those movies where it's like, you know what? I caught AIDS and then I got fired and then I had to go to court. It's like, that doesn't sound like a good Saturday night to me.
It was good. All right, James, who's your third pick in the Tom Hanks draft?
Ooh, see, now we're getting into the tougher selections here.
No, man, he's got a lot of good choices.
I mean, he does, but there's so many that are kind of in that next tier down.
By the way, we're only doing 5 rounds. We're only doing 5 picks each.
How can we just do 3?
No, because
all right. After that, all right, maybe Green Mile.
Green Mile, good choice. That was one that I was going to zero in on, but you took it off the board. So now I'm going to have to get with my team and figure out which is the best available. E, who are you going to add to your picks of Bachelor Party and
Da Vinci Code?
Da Vinci Code. Oh, that's a good one.
A Few Good Men.
Was he in A Few Good Men?
Not in that.
Yes,
is he in that?
That's what it says here.
I don't see it. I don't see it. Look at him with a draft bust.
Let me see.
I don't see it in here.
He's got a draft bust. Yeah.
No, maybe it's not. Well, why is it saying it?
All right. You drafted a guy who needs surgery and will never play in the NFL. You lose your third pick. Oh, already the fans
are they screwing me?
I don't know, because you're not looking.
I didn't remember him in there. I remember Tom Cruise.
Different Tom. That's a
it
different
says
Tom.
Hanks movies.
You just It's
drafted. Right next to the Green Mile.
Yeah. Yeah. You just drafted Jamarcus Russell.
Jason White.
You just drafted somebody who was
flying.
All right. My third pick, I'm going to go deep. I'm going to go far back. I'm going to go to the movie that made him a star. I'm going to take Splash. Splash. Classic American film.
I'm going to rally from that bad pick.
James, who you got? Tom Hanks draft.
Big.
You son of a bitch. I was going to follow. I thought nobody was going to take Big. All right, E, who you got?
Toy Story.
Great one.
Solid. That is a great one. All right. I am going to go with, for my next pick. You ready for this one? You ready for this? This is going to be a good one. If I can just find it. I want to make sure I get the proper name of it. I'm going to take Captain Phillips. I am the captain now. Captain Phillips. I am the captain now.
Look at me.
Awesome in that.
Look at me.
I am the captain now.
I am the captain now.
Someone should have just taken all the Toy Stories. First round Toy Story 1, second round Toy Story 2.
I think he gets the franchise with the draft.
So this is your fourth pick. Tom Hanks draft. Tom Hanks movie draft.
Me?
No, isn't it James?
Oh, it's James.
Wait,
right?
did you choose yours?
Yeah, I just took Captain Phillips.
Oh, that's right. Yes, see, that's weird how he does where he's the principal in Captain Phillips, but then he was also in Sully Sullenberger, the Sully movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hey, the guy that's flying this boat or plane or whatever, you're that guy.
Okay.
And it happened in real life.
All right.
I'm not as excited about the fourth pick.
Oh, well, that's what happens when you get down in the draft.
I mean, there's still a lot of good stuff, but not great stuff.
Okay.
So
There's great stuff. I've already identified some great stuff. I got some sleeper picks.
Yeah, I really like The Terminal. I'm going to take The Terminal.
Oh, I thought that movie was so... okay, I got to be honest. I never saw that movie. When I was told it was just about a dude in an airport, I was like, nah.
I know. It seemed like a really bad idea for a movie. I'm with you on that.
All righty. Who you got in your fourth pick of the Tom Hanks draft?
Turner and Hooch.
That was funny.
Solid pick. That could be one of those fourth round draft picks that actually turns out to be a baller. That's actually pretty good. Turner and Hooch was good. I am going to go with a film that we've already referenced here, and that is, of course, Castaway. Castaway. Tom Hanks on the island with Wilson the volleyball. Castaway. James, give me your fifth round pick, your final pick here in the Tom Hanks draft. Please don't take the one I want. Please don't.
Yeah, I think I'm going to, because you want to take A League of Their Own, don't you?
Is it very quiet?
A League of Their Own? Is that what you're looking at?
Is that what you're picking?
Maybe. If that's what you want, then I'm going to pick it. But if you don't want that one, I'm going to pick something else.
Are you locking in your choice? You got to lock in your damn choice.
Well, I would choose it out of spite, but I need to know if it's going to be spite.
Poker face, poker face. Dude, you got 5 seconds on the clock. 5, 4, 3.
League of Their Own.
2. League of Their Own. He takes. That was not the one I wanted. Not even close to the one.
You're going to take the red shoe, aren't you?
No, that's a terrible movie.
Okay.
E, your final pick in the Tom Hanks draft. Who you going with?
I'm pandering here to the crowd.
Please don't take the one I want. Please don't.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Good pick. Good pick. That if we had 6 rounds, I would have taken that. But I'm going with Catch Me If You Can, which is
crap! I missed that one. No, I want that way more than freaking League of Their Own. Oh.
Catch Me If You Can is an awesome movie. I watch that movie like every couple of years. It's so good. That is a great movie. All right, so there you go. Who were your picks? Give us your Tom Hanks draft picks. First round, James. Give us 1st through 5. Who'd you go with?
Hell, you think I remember back 5 minutes?
What are you, an absentee
My
owner?
first one was Saving Private Ryan, and then I got Forrest Gump, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then I had
Big 2. You got 2 really good.
Yeah, and then I had Big and Terminal and League of Their Own.
And how the hell Forrest Gump fell to the second round, I don't know, but it fell to the second round in this draft. E, who's your picks? You had Bachelor Party, Da Vinci Code, and then I don't know. I went squirrely.
I had A Few Good Men, which was a bust. Not
right,
him.
That was your wasted draft.
That was my wasted draft pick.
That'll work in the Tom Cruise.
Then I came back with Toy Story.
Toy Story was strong. Yeah.
And then Sleepless in Seattle.
Sleepless in Seattle. That's good. Okay, my picks were. James is right. I have no idea. I don't remember. I took Apollo 13. I took Something Else. I took Splash.
I remember Something Else. That was a good one.
I took Something Else.
Didn't you have Castaway?
I had Apollo 13, Captain Phillips, Castaway, Splash, and my final pick was Catch Me If You Can.
Those were not in order, though. Captain
No.
Phillips was
Captain
later.
Phillips was third. Yeah,
Yeah.
Captain Phillips was third. Or Captain Phillips was fourth. Splash, I think, was third. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That was fun. We just killed
Big.
time
You
there.
had Big, James.
I did. I said it.
Mm-hmm.
Big was good. All right. So getting back to the TV stuff, let's see. HBO Prime has now posted Clockwork Orange. Clockwork Orange was trending earlier today. Any thoughts on Clockwork Orange? I think it might be time for me to watch Clockwork Orange with my 12-year-old. I think he needs to have some nightmares.
So I've never seen it, and everyone says I need to see it. You're gonna learn.
So cool.
Some breaking news in football.
What's happening?
OBJ was just released by the Browns.
Yeah, that happened hours ago. I got it.
Well,
Here, the thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get into.
Where's he going? Is the question.
Yeah, that's a weird situation. We're gonna talk about that a little bit because
There's a lot of people who are one OBJ away from being contenders.
E, have you ever seen Clockwork Orange?
I have.
What do you think?
I think it's cool for its time.
It's one of Cuba. I think it's cool for any time. Everyone's afraid to remake it. Every couple of years, somebody's like, "Oh, Tarantino's going to remake Clockwork Orange," and it's like, "Nah, I can't do it." Kubrick did some stuff there that I don't want to mess with it. It's trying to have a hit single covering "Hey Jude." It's like nobody wants to touch it. Nobody wants to give that a try. So there you go. So Clockwork Orange. Yeah, I'll tell you this about Clockwork Orange. I love a little fun fact. Maybe folks don't know about me. I love architecture. I'm like a big architecture fan.
That is such a fun fact. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really talk about it because it's kind of boring. But if you were to go on a date with me, I might flop out the fact that I'm a big architecture fan. Clockwork Orange hipped me to my favorite form of architecture. Do you know what brutalist architecture is?
No.
Oh, man. Well, here, I'll give you. Dallas has some amazing, iconic buildings that are brutalist architecture. Most notably, City Hall, the police department. You know, the police department's got that futuristic, like what they thought the future would look like in 1970.
Yeah, in fact, it was so cool they used it as the City Hall in the original RoboCop.
Yeah. That's an example of brutalist architecture. In Chicago, we have the Marina Towers.
Brutalist buildings are characterized by minimalist constructions that showcase the bare building materials and structural elements over decorative design.
The very cool look. You
look like prisons.
Cool future prisons. What people thought the prisons look. The movie Logan's Run was filmed only on brutalist architecture sets. Marina Tower in Chicago, which are these two white buildings on the river that look like honeycombs. They're white and they're circular and they go on. That's brutalist. So thank you, Clockwork Orange, for turning me on to brutalist architecture. Let's see. Prime has a new Benedict Cumberbatch movie and Claire Foy, who I just love. She played the Queen in the first couple of seasons of The Crown. It's a movie called The Electrical Life of Louis Wayne. E, do you know who Louis Wayne is? Louis Wayne.
Nope.
An 18th century artist. I ain't gonna watch this movie. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see no movie about some 18th century or 19th century, late 1800s artist. Although I do love Benedict Cumberbatch. Benedict Cumberbatch draft. Nah, we'll save that for another day. I love Benedict Cumberbatch.
And are you saying that on purpose? Because isn't it Cumberbatch?
I think so.
You love him so much you don't know his last name?
No, I like Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't know who this Cumberbatch guy is.
Okay.
I'm old. I'm like one of those old people who mispronounce, new names.
My dad still can't say Mitsubishi, so don't feel bad.
What does your dad say? What did your dad
Something different every time. He's like, Machu Picchu. It's like, no, that's in Peru, dude.
Mogadishu. I'm driving a new Mogadishu.
Sometimes he gets really close, like Machu Picchu, Mitsubishi, Bichu.
Hulu has a documentary that has been posted for Mad Men only, the stories of Del Close. Now, if you love comedy in America, Del Close is someone who you should know. He was a crazy man. He was institutionalized time and time again. He is most famous for inventing the improv comedy style of the Herald, which is a way that people, I always talk about yes and. on this show. You know, don't give me no but. If go with it. If I say something funny, be a good partner in comedy and say yes, and let's move on. Don't say that's stupid. I'm gonna say my joke now. Like, so the rules of improv comedy were basically written by this guy, Del Close. He died a couple of years ago, and Bill Murray actually has his skull in his house. Is apparently the story that Bill Murray, his skull, Del bequeathed his skull to Bill Murray.
That's nice and weird.
Yeah, no, he was a very weird guy, but an absolute comedy genius. And when you look at, he's basically famous for being the teacher of comedy to every huge, famous comic breakout movie star of the last 30 years. They all learned their chops from this guy, Del Close. I mean, whether you want to go the early Saturday Night Live people, the Belushis and the Bill Murrays and the Dan Aykroyds to the John Candys to the people of today, everybody from Amy Poehler to Tina Fey to Jason Sudeikis, all of these people studied under Del Close. So it's a really good documentary on Hulu called For Mad Men Only, the stories of Del Close. If you're interested in the history of comedy in America, this is a really fascinating watch. I just watched it last night. But the big one that's trending today on Netflix, the new season of Narcos Mexico has posted.
Wow. Let's go.
Right?
Hey.
I had no idea it was coming. And then this morning I saw Narcos trending and I'm like, holy shit, it's been like 3 years.
So the pilot's taken over, I imagine, in this season, right? Because
I think
Felix walked off the last season in cuffs.
Right.
And the guy that was arranging the airlines and flying and putting the transponders on the airplanes and stuff, he's taken over, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that what we're going to get into, I think you're right. I think this season is going to now be about you remember the documentaries that were really big a couple of years ago, Cocaine Cowboys, about the guys in Miami who flew.
Yeah, they've made about 4 of those now. They made a new one this year.
The original is the best.
Oh,
then
yeah.
they started milking it but the one this year was pretty good too. The one this year was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Well, Narcos Mexico has the element that tips the scale for so many of these projects for me, in that it's an amazing story. It's put together well. It's written well. Great acting, but it's true. Like, that's the cool thing about Braveheart. Like, that would be a good movie otherwise, but the fact that really happened makes it an amazing movie.
Yeah.
But so I'm really into like these historical dramas where they do Versailles, or I don't know, like a Battle of Waterloo, or the Ottomans taking over Constantinople. Those are all more amazing stories because they actually happened. They weren't just.
Agree 100%. I love the stuff based on actual things that happened. Even if, you're going to get the people who are like, well, this didn't exactly happen like that. So what?
Shut up.
You're giving me a rough overview of the story from history as it was true.
Right. And it translates into the movie, because Apollo 13 will be a classic movie that I will want my kids to see one day. I'm not going to be as excited for them to see Gravity, the Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, even though it's a similar movie. But it didn't happen. So whatever. That's disposable. Throw it away when you're done with it.
Like, I don't care about my kid watching this new Tom Hanks space movie, Finch, that takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where he's got a friend who's a robot. I don't care about that.
It didn't happen.
But my kid has already seen The Right Stuff. I mean, that's the stuff that I want him to see. The story of the real Apollo astronauts and how the space program started back when they were just in a trash can being shot out of a cannon into the sky.
Well, it's weird.
Did we go to space?
What's that?
Did we really go to space?
Yes. Stir. Me and Amo are going to go hang out at Dealey Plaza later. You want to go, Pugs?
So anyway, I know you're not really a big TV watcher because you actually accomplish things in your life. But you really need to start in on Narcos season 1. You would love this. It's a season. This is the 3rd season of Narcos Mexico, which isn't exactly a follow-up to the first 2 or 3 seasons of the original Narcos, but it's the same writer, the same, it's just different stories. The original Narcos begins with the story of Pablo Escobar and his rise to power in Colombia, and how the DEA basically chased him for a decade while he was making like $1 billion a month and just owning an entire country. So the first couple of seasons is really good. Now they've moved into Mexico after the fall of the Cali and the Medellin cartels, when Mexico kind of picked up the slack. So that's where
Well, it also starts in Mexico before the first Narcos because they give you the story in season 1 of Kiki Camarena, which is why the DEA agents were sent to Colombia in the original Narcos. So you get a little bit of a backstory, and then it's concurrent to where they will have characters come from Colombia that were in the original Narcos and the Narcos Mexico because they are working together. And I think we're kind of phasing out of at the end of the Cali cartel's reign. And so
I thought the Cali cartel was pretty much ended when Pacho, wasn't that the big story from the last season where Pacho went down, and then that was sort of.
Well, they show you in the original Narcos that Pacho ends up dying in prison.
Yeah, but then they have to bring him back. Doesn't show what was going on.
They bring the time back. Yeah, they move the timeline back so you can still see Pacho dealing with Felix Gallardo. So the foreshadowing here is always fun because we've also over the last 2 seasons seen a guy that was just a bag man rise up to be a captain, and that's El Chapo.
Yes, that's what this season is going to be focusing on. The El Chapo character. First set of series was about the rise of Pablo Escobar, and now these Narcos Mexico is about the rise of El Chapo. And what a slug loser sideman El Chapo was, right? I mean, he just, for a guy who rose to be the kingpin, he was just like the big dumb oaf driving the delivery truck in the first couple of seasons.
And he kind of looks like him.
And I'm going, that dude is going to rise up to be the kingpin of all kingpins. So that's what we're going to see.
Okay, we have to see him come to power. They're not going to end it. They've been just giving you El Chapo on the side, and they're never going to put him on the top of the mountain. Right. So that's going to happen. But we have to have a long time to cover before he's on top, right? So we have to go to this middle guy.
I believe this season we're going to see the introduction of, you said the Cocaine Cowboys, the pilots who are flying it in, but also the introduction of the George Young character. Remember Johnny Depp from Blow, the movie Blow, which was so good. So I think this is where we're going to start to see, George Young enter the picture and start to bring cocaine all over America.
Yeah. Well, I think coming up in this season too, we're also expected for Amel's dad to make an appearance. His grandfather. They go to a fishing trip in Cuba.
Let me tell you, we might see Amel show up in this series. It might be the kid in the club in Dallas.
Yeah.
We got to meet this. We got to meet this kid in the club in Dallas.
It's a fishing trip.
It's 1991.
Just going to Cuba. They've got really good trout down there or something. I don't know.
Bass.
Bass. That's what it was. Bass.
Hey, how do we know this kid? He's Big Johnny Cirillo's boy out of Buffalo.
He likes to go bass fishing.
It's gonna be that kind of thing. Yeah. Maybe that's why he hasn't watched Narcos. He's afraid he's gonna recognize some of them.
Yeah, they'll be like, Cirillo from Buffalo? Yeah.
All right, we won't go there. All right, let's keep going on here. Trending today, QAnon is trending again today, one of James and my favorite topics to go back and forth on. Now, it's trending because apparently there has been a new QAnon belief in the last couple of days centering around us here in Dallas. Remember, tens of thousands of people gathered in Dealey Plaza. I mean, that's the number they keep saying. I mean, I saw it. It was a lot of people. I don't know how to count tens of thousands.
300.
No, there was definitely way more than that. I mean,
I saw a report that said 300.
Okay. Well,
and he was busy.
I don't care what your Alex Jones report told you. I saw a helicopter shot. It was more than 300.
It was like WFAA or something.
Yeah, WFAA was covering it. That's who gave me the helicopter shot. At any rate, let's not get derailed by these kinds of nitpicky things. Let's just have fun with it, shall we? Instead of being argumentative. So they all gathered there because JFK Jr. was supposed to show up. He's not dead in the QAnon canon. He is a major player, and he is very much still alive. Vincent Fusco is the real-life gentleman portraying the role of the not dead JFK Jr. So JFK Jr. was supposed to show up, but he didn't show up, and all these people were like, sad that he didn't show up, and it was like, So then it started to go around that he didn't show up because he was supposed to be appearing with the Rolling Stones, that Mick and Keith had convinced him that, hey, this is not the best place for you to do this big announcement. And the announcement was that Trump is still president and he's now vice president. This is not the best place to do it. You need to come on stage with us at the Cotton Bowl and make the announcement to this massive worldwide audience. Just forgive the fact that it wasn't a massive worldwide audience. It was just a single concert in Dallas. It wasn't being televised globally or anything. But, that was the story that they went with. And when he didn't show up at that, they then needed to come up with something else. So the latest QAnon story is that Keith Richards is in fact JFK Jr. and Mick Jagger is dead. And Mick Jagger is actually currently being portrayed by Michael Jackson. So what you saw on Tuesday night, either the Cotton Bowl, was actually Michael Jackson portraying Mick Jagger, and it was Keith Richards is in fact JFK Jr.
Oh my God,
James, you wanna go explain?
How many people actually believe that? Like 4?
Enough that it's trending. This is and this is from Esquire. Is the story? TGIF QAnon believers are now saying that Keith Richards is JFK Jr. in disguise. And there's a whole thing. I don't know, man. There were enough people in Dealey Plaza to cause traffic problems. That's enough people to just look. You are right. We got into it a little bit the other day. You are right. I don't think that we're going to have hundreds of thousands of people taking to the streets with torches believing that Keith Richards is actually Mick Jagger. So we'll just leave it at that. I find this to be a very funny and silly and distracting story. Yes, I also find it concerning, but I will not share my points of view on why it's concerning because honestly, it's the weekend. It's Bonfire Night.
It's concerning. You're really concerned that people believe stupid stuff?
Yes, I am concerned that people are that gullible, crazy, off their meds, undiagnosed.
They've always been like that. Look, this is the people when we were all a little bit younger and we would wait in the grocery store lines, we would all look, they don't have them there now. We would all look at the magazines with like Bat Boy, the Weekly World News, and Elvis is coming back with Tupac or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we used to think, who the hell believes this stuff? And it's the same group of people. This is just the next generation of whoever was buying the Weekly World News.
Seems to be a lot more, though. And maybe that's due to the internet connecting people with crazy beliefs and their ability to now gather en masse to share their beliefs. Look, you're right. Whatever. All right, so let's talk about OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., the pride of Amels College football team, the LSU Tigers. He has been released outright by the Cleveland Browns. This happened early this morning after weeks and weeks of him being a complainer about how he is not being targeted. Okay.
Isn't that a legit complaint, though? Have you seen some of the videos of him just being wide open on 10 plays and...
Well, I have. I've
I wouldn't call that a complainer. I mean, for some reason, they're not throwing him the ball.
Well, it's a complaint.
Yeah, that is
I'm not calling him a complainer. Yeah. I mean, I'm saying he's got a legit
used in this. It's actually incredible.
He's got a legit,
gotcha.
Statement.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it is interesting that they weren't able to trade him. I guess a lot of teams, they tried to put a couple of trades together, but he's coming off ACL surgery.
It's not just that, though. He has guaranteed money that if someone was going to pick him up,
right,
who's going to pay that money?
Well,
the Browns don't want to play it, and the Browns aren't going to pay it to get him out the door.
They reached a deal on that. That's why he was released today. They reached a deal and restructured the contract so that it's not quite as restrictive for the Browns anymore to just cut him outright. And the Browns also said, happy birthday. It's his birthday. It's his birthday today. And they're like, happy birthday. Get the fuck out. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. Is he going to go to the Patriots? I mean, is this what we're looking at? Is Bill Belichick going to scoop him up?
He's going to be out the door 10 seconds and he'll be picked up.
What's Mike Evans' deal in Tampa? Is he still hurt? Is Bruce Arians going to pick him up? Is Brady going to be throwing to him or is Belichick? I think those are the two obvious choices.
The New Orleans Saints just lost their big guy, Thomas.
Yeah. He's been gone for a while, but he's not coming back.
And he's a free agent now. He didn't have to go with a team that doesn't have a quarterback. I mean, he's going to go. I could see him going. Here are the three teams that I think I could see Odell Beckham Jr. going to. Old dirty bastard. I almost
ODB.
Old dirty bastard. Yeah. I think Patriots, Bucks, or Cowboys. I think those are the three teams that I could see him landing.
No room for him on the Cowboys.
Man, too many great receivers already.
Yeah, but Jerry, man, Jerry's crazy like that, and they probably ain't gonna resign Cooper. You know, Cooper's probably out the door. Could you imagine?
He does have the history of going picking up these troubled guys, the Keyshawn Johnsons and Terrell Owens.
Is he troubled though? Is Odell Beckham Jr. troubled? I mean, has he been a problem, or is he just he's a loudmouth? You know, but he's not. I don't know that he's ever been considered a clubhouse cancer, or you know, he lost last season due to an ACL injury, so he's not proven that he's back 100%. Although you know, he
says a lot of negative things about his team and teammates and organizations in the media. Now that's totally understandable for anybody who's ever played for the Cleveland Browns in the last 50 years.
Right.
But he's gotten in trouble in other ways. When he was throwing cash around when LSU was winning the national championship, he got in trouble, you know, because you can't have a alumnus going into the locker room handing out money to the players, and he was doing that, and it was like on camera and everything. So
that was dumb.
Yeah. So is he a bad guy? Probably not. Is he like a little grumpy and complain?
Well, hold on a second. I'm going to push back on that because I happen to believe that within the world of athletes, all wide receivers are bad guys. All wide receivers are bad guys, and the second worst pro athlete in the world is a cornerback who has to cover the wide receiver. Cornerbacks and wide receivers are they have despicable personalities.
Yeah, that's your offensive lineman bias talking. And aren't those your favorite?
No, linebackers.
Linebackers are your favorite.
Yeah, linebackers. They keep their mouth shut and they knock the snot out of you. E, how about your Bills? You got room for an Odell Beckham Jr. up there? That's a team he might want to sign with. He's looking to win something, so he wants to go to a good team, which is why I mean
we do. We have Stephon Diggs. We have Cole Beasley. We got Emmanuel Sanders. You know, why wouldn't we have? I mean, of course. I think like maybe I could see him going to the Packers.
Nah, I don't think he wants to play for the Packers. You know
why?
Because nobody likes to go to the Packers. That's a terrible place to be a rich black man. It is a really bad place to be super wealthy.
I think I'd like if I were him to have
there's no media opportunities.
I mean, you got Devontae Adams on the other side there.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, possibly. The Packers look like they're loaded for bear this season as well. The one that I worry about, the dark horse, and we talked about the obvious ones, the Bucs with Tom Brady trying to get in our Super Bowl, Belichick and the Packers with the hot young quarterback in Mac Jones. You could see that only because Belichick has done these things in the past, right? He's scooped up. Oh, how did they get richer? But dude, don't sleep on the Los Angeles Rams. They got their quarterback now. Cooper Kupp is a little bit hobbled. They could use another guy out there. And tell me OBJ wouldn't rather be in LA than Green Bay. You know what I mean? I mean, it just
I mean, it fits over there. I mean, you could also see him maybe with the Cardinals.
I have no idea. Yeah, Cardinals could be good too. I have no idea what the salary cap situation is on any of these teams that I'm talking about, but you can defer, you can get creative if you want to bring a guy in for 1 year. You can say, okay, we'll give you a league minimum this year, but then we'll pay you for the next 10 years, 10 million against our cap in the future. There are ways they can get creative.
And he probably gets a little creative too, because it's like, okay, I just got paid some money to get out of my contract.
Yeah.
With, the Browns. So if I can jump on a team mid-season and got a shot at the Super Bowl, why not take that ride?
He's coming. Odell Beckham is coming, folks. That's all I'm telling you. All right, let's see. What else? Here's an interesting one. Local Dallas. I've got a couple of local Dallas athlete stories here. There's just a whole lot of sports going on today, which is why we spent so much time on silly TV and day of the week stuff. So the Colony's own Darren Williams, who is one of my favorite college basketball players of all time. He was a baller at the University of Illinois, number 3 overall pick, I want to say in 22. I don't know. You remember Darren Williams out of the Colony? I remember when he signed with Illinois, we were very excited because that was when Illinois was actually good. Came out of the Colony. The Jazz took him, but then he played mostly with the Nets. Like we remember him having his best all-star years.
Didn't Cuban pursue him for a while?
Yeah, I think didn't he end his career with the Mavericks? I think he did. I think he spent like a year or two with the Dallas Mavericks, but that was at the end of his career. Darren Williams and Frank Gore. Remember Frank Gore? We just talked about him as being a free agent who was eligible to sign. Frank Gore and Darren Williams are trending. You want to know why? Because they're gonna fight. They're gonna box. Frank Gore and Darren Williams. Frank Gore is what? 5'10". Darren Williams is 6'8". What is this gonna look like?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like when Tall started fighting.
Well, that's on one of these Jake Paul fights, that they're putting together. One of these crazy sort of mix mash kinds of things. Jake Paul, I guess, is fighting Tommy Fury. Who is he? The brother of the other Fury? Is that what we're doing now? We're just making lesser
Tyson Fury.
Yeah. Are we just letting lesser brothers fight each other now because the top line brothers are too expensive? Is that what's happening? His brother Logan Paul's fighting Tyson. Did you see this?
No.
Yes, he is. He's fighting Tyson. How stupid is that?
That's not going to be smart.
And it was also revealed yesterday one of these guys, I don't know which one it was. One of them fought Tyron Woodley, who was the former welterweight champion of the UFC, and just an absolute terror in the ring, a real fighter. And it went to the Paul brother on a controversial split decision. And everybody was like, what the hell? And if you remember, I think we talked about it on the show. We showed the stills of it. Early in the fight, Tyron Woodley had the Paul brother against the ropes, stunned him bad, and then took a step back, like didn't finish him. Like, I could have just crushed him right there, but took a step back and didn't finish him. And at the time, I was screaming, fix. There's no way this YouTuber is going to beat Tyron. Well, as it turns out, it has been revealed that there was a stipulation in the contract that said that Tyron Woodley was not allowed to knock Jake Paul out. He would forfeit his purse if he knocked him out. So that was a big thing.
That's ridiculous.
And then he loses. So he's not allowed to knock him out, and he loses a split decision. But
so how can they put the betting line up? Like, will there be a knockout?
I think it was an exhibition.
Okay.
I don't think it was an actual sanctioned pro fight. So there you have it. All right. That came out this week because this is a big week for the UFC. Look, folks, everyone knows going back 20 years, I'm a big fan of the UFC. I don't bring that shit on the air because I understand that not many people like it. But when there is a big fight, I get excited. And this particular fight that is going off this weekend, Saturday night, me and my boy were so excited about it. We're already talking about it. We're like, how are we going to get this fight out of it? Maybe Uncle Lee will put it up on the big screen. We'll figure out a way to do it. But it is Usman Covington 2 for the UFC welterweight championship. Now, the reason my kid's all excited about it is because Kamaru Usman is like a big deal around here to kids. He's Dallas's champion. He's Bowie High School's own Kamaru Usman, who is just an absolute destroyer of men. He is. I don't like to think that there's these kinds of kids walking around Bowie High School, but apparently there are. Kamaru Usman is fighting Colby Covington, who is also a very good fighter. Colby Covington is a very good fighter, but these are two very different types. Usman was born in like Nigeria or something. He moved to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. His dad was the doctor. Moved to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex when he was 8 years old. Was a two-time Texas State Wrestling champion at Bowie High School, and then became a UFC fighter and very well undefeated, I think. Certainly undefeated in the UFC. Nobody's touched him. He just knocks people out. He's a crusher. And then you have Colby Covington, who is the UFC's MAGA fighter. He's a white guy. He wears the Make America Great hat. All of these things.
Didn't he get his jaw broken the first fight?
Kamaru Usman kicked the fucking shit out of him. It was really great. Because, of course, the MAGA fighter likes to run his mouth and I'm superior to you. All of that kind of stuff. And he's running his mouth. He's a real talker. He's trying to do... if it's possible, he's a less likable Conor McGregor with the way that he talks.
I don't know that that's possible.
It is. You got to pull up some of this stuff. And Usman is, he wears glasses. And he's very stoic, and he's very quiet and very reserved. You always love those matchups where one guy is like, I'm the greatest. You don't even belong in the same ring with me. And he's saying all of this stuff 6 months after having his jaw broken and being knocked out by the guy. Is there no shame? I mean, come on, man.
He got lucky.
Yeah, right. That's it. You got lucky. You know that you didn't break my jaw. Meanwhile, the Nevada medical, when you have an injury like that, you're not allowed. The state medical association doesn't allow you to fight anymore.
Right.
So yes, it is not even speculated that he broke his jaw. He was suspended for 6 months while his jaw healed. He wasn't allowed to fight. I mean, it's a fact. And by the way, all you got to do is pull up the pictures on Google or Bing, and you see this like mouthy garbage kid, Colby Covington, just beaten to shit, just sitting in the ring, blood pouring down of his face. And then you see Kamara, Bowie High School's own, just standing over him like, you are my bitch. So, and by the way, I say all this stuff about how unlikable Colby Covington is. Colby Covington is a legit fighter. You cannot take that away from him. He is very good. If not for the presence of Kamaru Usman in the welterweight division of the UFC, Colby Covington very well might be the champion. And he's getting his second shot at the title, and that's tomorrow. And that's going to be a really fun fight. So if anybody's interested in that, there you go. All right. I don't know where James went. So look at that. We had 2 sports stories that were trending today, both concerning Dallas area products. We had the Colony's Darren Williams and Bowie High School's Kamaru Usman. Let's see. Do we have anything else? Jobs report came out better than expected. We did the movies. That's it. I'm gonna call it early here. You good with that? I got to pick up my kid from school.
You got to get the carpool.
I gotta figure out all that stuff. Where did James go? Should we just sit here and wait for James?
Well, we can't leave the show without you playing our exit music.
To give it one more quick look. Let's just see what is the new stuff that might be trending here. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, man. Aaron Rodgers is trending again. I told you I have Aaron Rodgers Stockholm syndrome. That's starting to wear off with all the revelations of the last couple of days about how ridiculous Aaron Rodgers has been all this time. Aaron Rodgers appeared on the Pat McAfee show and said he's in the crosshairs of the woke mob. This is an interesting place for Aaron Rodgers because it just shows that nothing is black and white. Aaron Rodgers is a hippy-dippy left-wing liberal progressive guy who is now being tortured by the woke mob, who you would also assume would be, friendly with the hippy-dippy, but Aaron Rodgers appeared on the Pat McAfee show and said he's in the crosshairs of the woke mob following the revelation of his COVID-19 vaccination status. He's taking his consultative. All right, there you go. So Aaron Rodgers is trending again. Colin Powell.
I think it's that he lied.
Yeah,
or he intentionally misled people. That's kind of got people pissed.
Yeah, that's mostly what he's getting dragged for. Because people are like, you lied and we trusted you because we thought you were a genuine dude. You were totally. Jimmy Kimmel had a funny line. Jimmy Kimmel last night said, and this video, it almost made the moment of joy, but I decided I found the girl reading her boyfriend's apology text more entertaining. Jimmy Kimmel's line was, Aaron Rodgers lied about his COVID vaccine status, so this weekend he won't be playing against the Chiefs. He'll be watching from Mahomes. That was a fun play on words. Yeah, fun little play on words. ABBA is trending. ABBA has a new album out. Billy Idol was trending. Okay, we can't play it, but I actually had to go and look at it. Billy Idol, it's a nice day for a white wedding. A guy from like 40 years ago,
Right. Well, ABBA's like before him.
Right. Yeah. Billy Idol is trending because he has a new single out. the first song that he has released in like 30 years, and it's awesome. It is a really good.
Like, is it awesome or is it John Hinckley awesome?
No, it's awesome. It's like, holy shit, this guy has been sitting on this for years. He hasn't done anything. It's being compared to the best of U2. Some people are saying that he is now almost like a Chris Isaac type, you know, where he's this is like a really, what is the song called? You know, you can all look it up if you want, because it was shockingly good. I listened to it last night and I was like, holy crap, these people are right. This song is really good. Billy Idol new song. Let's see here.
ABBA.
The new song is called Bitter Taste. Bitter Taste. All right, here. We'll just maybe give you a little bit of a listen to it. Oh, the Google Fi song. Everyone who goes to YouTube knows this song.
Hello, automatic coverage when I'm exploring the world.
Hello, Google Fi. Planet can. All right, so this is the new.
Bet you won't get a copyright infringement for that.
Right. Here, we'll just fast forward it a little. Just give you a little piece in the middle of the new Billy Idol song.
I wouldn't pick that out to be Billy Idol, though, from that.
Sounds like you too. It sounds like Bono. It sounds like, that's what people are saying. They're like, that's Billy Idol? That is what Billy Idol's new sound is? And, you know, like I said, I've listened to that song probably 3 or 4 times since finding it last night after the show when it was trending. And you know what? Good for him, man. You know, that's cool. I mean, I liked Billy Idol. I liked the earlier stuff, but you're righty. Hearing that song, if we had played Who Is This? And I just played that song, no way in hell anybody would have said that's Billy Idol. They'd say, well, that's U2. Is that a new U2 single? Or, you know, something like that. Good for him. He always seemed like a pretty cool guy. Oh, James is back just as we're getting ready to sign off. You missed. Are you excited for the big UFC fight this weekend? We talked a little bit about that. Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington 2, which
I don't know either one of those dudes.
Yeah, well, you should. They're both very good. All right, that's it. I got nothing else. James, you got anything you want to close with? Yeah, we gotta end early today because I got to pick up my kid early from school, and I have to take a shower and I have to clean the floor. Our beautiful little animal, your dog daughter, my dog niece. Remember when it was raining?
Oh, dude, you don't need to tell me. I got the same issue.
The paw prints everywhere.
I got wood floors.
Oh my God.
Well, it's better than carpet, right? You'd be in real trouble if you had carpet.
That blend in better, I think, with the carpet. I think the carpet you might be able to just get away with it. But when it's a white, I got a white tile floor at the entrance to this place, and it is just covered with dog mud paw prints. So I got to get on my hands and knees. I got to clean that. I got to take a shower, and then I got to get my kid by 3:15. So we're closing up a little bit early today. Unless you got
what's going on this weekend besides the big UFC fight between two guys I never heard of?
Tonight's Bonfire Night. Gonna hope to go over to a carnival and dunk Amel's kid. But if that doesn't work out, my kid and I will probably go to our favorite place for dinner. What's our favorite place for dinner? I keep forgetting the name. Falafel Dudes. I keep forgetting the name of the place.
Halal Guys.
Halal Guys. We love Halal Guys. Me and my kid. That's a fancy restaurant to us. I'm just glad he's still 12, where he doesn't want to go to a nice steakhouse. You know what I mean? Falafel Guys works. Halal Guys.
Halal Guys.
Halal Guys. Yeah, we like that. So we're gonna go there.
Muslim kosher rules.
Yeah, I don't know what is it. Yeah, I think it's like the Turkish version of gyros. It's like, you know, Turkey and Greece are right next to each other. They eat the same foods. They just put a little different spin on it. But
well, they have their religious prescribed butchering methods and food preparation rules that they have to follow to be considered halal. So for the Muslims, halal is like kosher is for Jews.
Is
That's
that what that is? That's
Yeah.
what halal means? Okay.
That's the set of rules that because they have to like say a prayer whenever they kill an animal, and they have to kill it a certain way, and they can't mix certain things.
Well, above and beyond that, the spices are delicious. The way they made it's a delicious food, man. I'm telling you.
No, when you're hanging out with Muslims and you go take them to some food they're not familiar with, they'll say, "Is this halal?" And I'll say, "I have no idea if it's halal. Why don't you ask the person who made it?"
Well, it tastes. I mean, it's gyros. It's exactly the same thing as like a gyros. It's on a spit, and they carve it off, and you can make it in a sandwich. I think
Yes, but
they call the sandwich
Western
a falafel
Christian man
instead of
can.
gyros.
Yeah, but Western Christian men, we can sacrifice and kill our animals any way we want. Really, we
Yeah.
don't have any rules anymore.
And
about
Greece
that.
is Christian, and Turkey is
Muslim.
Yeah.
So if you're a Christian, you can go to halal restaurants and eat whatever, and you're not breaking any of your own rules. But they can't do the reverse. People who follow halal, and most Muslims don't. All the Muslims I've been friends with, they're like, "Is there pork in that?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "I'll eat it anyway."
Yeah,
all of them. I haven't met one devout Muslim.
So they need to die a certain way. The animal does.
Yeah, and there's a certain prayer that has to be said as well.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with the way it's cooked, the meat that's cooked, the way it's spiced. It tastes exactly like gyros. It's just they say a different prayer over it. That's it.
Yeah,
that's the only difference, and it's good.
Yeah, there's some other preparation rules too. Like if you're Jewish and you follow kosher, you're not eating shellfish or anything that's touched shellfish. You're not eating meat and cheese at the same time.
Okay.
What religion doesn't let you have a ham and cheese sandwich? Ham and cheese sandwich has got to be like a bad one for whatever.
I think you can get away with ham and cheese. You can't get away with like a cheeseburger and still be kosher because you're eating two products from the same animal. You're eating beef and cheese, which comes from milk.
So like a omelet with chicken in it wouldn't work.
Right. They don't eat chicken and eggs at the same time.
Oh,
because they don't eat two things from the same animal at the same time.
Oh, look, this has nothing to do with religion, but the idea of eating eggs with chicken is just so horrific to me. It makes me gag even thinking about it. It's like a mealy omelet. It's like you're killing the mom and the babies and you're eating it all at once.
Why does that sound so weird?
Chicken? It does sound weird. And I know people that eat chicken with eggs, and I'm like, no, man, that's a crime against nature. That is just not good. That is you eat pig with eggs. You eat piece of pork sausage with eggs, bacon with eggs. You don't do chicken with eggs.
Yeah, but I mean, there's like eggs a lot of time in the batter.
That's different.
Well, no, it's not. The eggs on the outside.
Oh, and the outside of what?
It's hidden. It's hidden. You don't have to face it.
Hidden, right. I'm not facing scrambled eggs with a piece of chicken going, oh, look at the babies. Oh, look at the mommy. And that's a little bit too gross.
No, Pugs. It's not a baby until it's hatched. It's just a fetus when you're eating it as an egg.
Okay, that's going to do it for today.
Amniotic fluid and chicken fetus. That's what your omelet's made of.
Certainly not going to get into this.
Unfertilized chicken. What is that? A gamete?
I don't know. You're boring me. Amara Walker is now on CNN. For those of you, fun fact, Amara Walker is my favorite news babe.
I don't know who she is. Where'd she come from?
She's been on CNN for about a couple of years now, but she's Asian, but she looks like she's an Asian hybrid. Like she's got like she's Caucasian and Asian mixed, look her up, Amara Walker.
Oh, I'm looking now. Okay, yeah, I've definitely seen this face.
She's gorgeous, isn't she? She's so pretty. She's my favorite. All right. Here's another one of my favorites. Hope it's one of yours too. Of course, we're talking about the way we close each and every show with a little bit from John Hinckley, America's favorite failed presidential assassin. With you every day in every kind of way. Isn't that a wonderful way to start a song? May peace be with you every day in every kind of way. You'd never think that this guy tried to gun down multiple people in front of a hotel back in 1981. Or whenever the hell he did it. I'm not even sure. All right, bye, E. Heading out. There he goes. He's going.
Bye.
Make good things come into your life to have a blessed
go, James. Bye-bye.
This can be the start of something new.
No, high five, low five.
Roses and lace, they are meant for you.
All right. Whatever.
Nailed
Have a
it.
good
Totally
week.
nailed it.
We'll see you again on Sunday for the Pillow Talk edition. Check out the new Billy Idol song, Bitter Taste. It's shockingly good, and it's why he's trending. I got nothing else. Hope y'all have a good day. Bye, folks.
May everyone be on your side at each and every turn. And may you have the smoothest ride. Receive what you have earned. This can be the start of something new. Roses and lace, they are meant for you. May peace be with you every day, in every kind of way. May good things come into your life to have a blessed day. This can be the start of something new. Roses and lace, they are meant for you. This can be the start of something new. Roses and lace, they are meant for you.